Feature Friday.
The freshest.
One of you guys sent me this video, personally on my DMs.
Oh.
And it was some of our favorite singers out of the Indian music industry, but singing when they were children.
Oh, or very young.
Yeah, and they're called childhood performances. So it's like you get young Arijit, young Sunidhi Chauhan, young Shreya, who we've kind of seen before. There's a bunch of other singers, so I thought it would be quite interesting to sort of review, and then maybe perhaps you can illuminate us on sort of the what would you call it, the maturity of their skill set and to what they are now.
Transformation.
So let's give it a watch.
Oh, what a cool journey. I'm okay, excited. How old do you think he was here?
Teenager?
Oh, okay. Oh.
Fucking hell. Musics.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Arman Malik.
Oh, Arman!
थोड़ा सा प्यार हुआ है थोड़ा है बाकी हम तो दिल दे ही चुके हो हम तो दिल दे ही चुके बस तेरी हाँ है बाकी थोड़ा सा प्यार हुआ है थोड़ा है बाकी.
That is absolutely beautiful.
And that's a brutal environment. I don't know why they do that shit to
beautiful.
kids.
I don't know why they do that in the Indian music industry.
Sometimes
Overall, the entertainment industry is kind of wild.
Like
It's
ruthless
like,
when it comes-
stand there, sing a cappella.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Have you ever tried that?
I remember even in Venezuela, like when we would get invited to shows like that in TV, and it was it's a children's band. We were quite young. Most of the time it was like
Sing something in a cappella. You're like, what?
you do that. They do sections of that, but when the actual performance, the bits that would go covered by the press or things that would kind of, I guess back in the day, it wouldn't go viral, kind of like in social media, but I guess the things that would cause
Conversation amongst
hits
people,
on the
yeah.
press, it would be all lip synced. It would be all dubbing. Like we wouldn't actually play because television sound is fucking terrible.
It's not for that.
Yeah, especially when you're a band. I guess, and then they do those sections. It's like, oh, go sing, and then
With
he's the
this
mic.
microphone that's incredibly harshly compressed for speech.
Yeah.
And then you're out here singing a really highly melodic song with no reverb or anything to help you. Obviously, as a child, you don't understand
You don't
crap.
care, yeah.
And you don't care. You just do what you came here to do. But as you grow older, you're like, that is so unfair.
Yeah. Anyways,
You know?
Sunidhi.
Sunidhi Chauhan.
Holy shit.
Go off, girl. There are some special humans in the world, and then there's baby Sunidhi. You know, like, what? That's pretty cool, man.
Tulsi Kumar.
Aww.
It's this series, so I'd imagine the audio is different.
But look at that score strength.
Harship Kaur, we're not very familiar.
DCR. The songs are so hard. That's one talented child.
Young Sonu, 15 years old.
Why does he look the same?
Pause. Hold on. Why does he look and sound the same? The fuck?
What is this? Okay, so this should have been a video about progressions vocally and like the transformation. Obviously, it's too drastic from like a child before they hit puberty and then after when they have become.
Here he's hit it though.
But here his even if he's gone past it, that's the sound that we're getting, or he's going through that harsh transition. 15 years old is quite an iffy age for male vocalists, because they're still going through a lot of harshness, like a lot of adaptation through their singing process. Because if at 15 you're still not mature enough, your larynx haven't dropped enough, like it's a really iffy moments, and you have to adapt as a singer. You have to adapt and mold yourself in that transitioning period. But he sounds just as good as he does today, and actually his if you look at his posture and his singing mannerisms, there's a lot of tension going through here in this arm. You can see there's perhaps a lot of nerves going through this in this performance.
It's a singing competition.
But to be completely honest, the way that he's holding the mic, the way that he's singing, there's an understanding there, like a discovery, and that alone, it's quite impressive. That's pretty wild.
If we this month is quite difficult, but if we ever, like in the upcoming months, if we ever also get another huge privilege to speak to some of these artists from India in the Indian music industry, I think what we should do is we should try and ask you guys to find like an old ass clip from them, and then they can react to it on the podcast
and
with
tell
us.
us exactly what was going on.
Yeah, could you imagine? Because I don't think they'll ever look at this stuff.
True.
You know what I mean? And one of the things as well is like you guys send messages like. In mainstream media from all over the world, not just India, but from all over the world, it's like TV interviews. I mean, with all due respect, they're quite dead because it's so short. The time is so limited.
Yes.
And they usually use sound bites and stuff like that. So what's the opportunity they get to look back at some of this stuff? So I guess that would be a good idea. Imagine showing this shit to someone. You'd be like, "What the fuck? How'd you find this?"
How did you find that?
The fans.
The fans. That's one talented 50-year-old.
15.
That's what I said.
Sounded like 50.
It's very, very good. Oh, Arijit. I'm also hearing edges of teenage years.
Well, he was heavily involved in classical.
But that melody is just unbeaten, like the way that he carries the tune itself. That's beautiful. Lata!
No way.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, Lata.
Has done it all. So cute! Oh,
How the-
Shreya!
Oh,
Goodness,
baby
where is
Shreya.
this? Sorry,
How the
again,
fuck do they sound
again,
the
how
same?
does she hear? That's
like
exactly the
15.
youthfulness that you hear in her voice today. Today, people.
Obviously, again, it's the same with Sono. It's like they have become refined
Oh, of
at the
course.
things they're good at. However, you can tell it's the same. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like Nadal play when that video, like Rafael. We're talking tennis now. Rafael Nadal play when he was. I think it was that video that went viral when he was like 13 or 9 or something like that. And yes, his game was very different then. However, his mannerisms
Yep.
as a
Yeah,
player
yeah.
are exactly the fucking same as now. And it's them vocally, their mannerisms and their, what would you call it?
The staple sound.
It's been the
Had
same
been
since they were
found.
kids.
Yes.
It's as if they had their sound figured out since they were. I guess the only thing they had to figure out was their market
Yeah, correct.
and their kind of their pop sound.
They're filtering. I think that's exactly because like what happens is like it's like you're collecting pebbles in the sand, and then you have to filter through all the sand to get to the cool shiny pebbles, and that's what the process of refinery, vocally speaking, is like.
People collect pebbles.
Shiny pebbles in the beach. No,
The fuck?
with
Really?
a little shaker. I used to do that.
Oh. I thought you collect pearls or something.
No, you have to get the oysters first.
Pebbles.
Yeah. Anyways, the point is, people, filtering. That's exactly what we're seeing here. It's not raw. What you're seeing here is a really well taught, highly technical child performer.
Good foundation already.
Really great foundations. Reason why that youthfulness, that fresh sound that you get today, still remains, because the the years of usage in the larynx can be very damaging. But if you have a really solid technical foundation, there is no way that you can damage your vocal folds beyond repair. Like, absolutely no way. And she is exactly that. That example. That you can really see it throughout the clips of many performances that we have seen. This is fascinating. This is brilliant. What a cute child. Such mature voice for it. See, it's the endings. Woo, girl!
Hey, Arman!
Arman! He's out here killing
Arman version 2.0.
He's a pop star now, sorry.
So he was really involved in shows since
Since
really young
the
age.
beginning. What a voice! Kiddo!
Baby Arman.
Again, do you see those mannerisms
It feels
on
like the
stage?
kid. It feels like the kid that you'd want to buy ice cream to and teach how to ride a bicycle. I feel like he'd be the nicest kid to hang around with.
He reminds me of Luis Miguel when he was kind of like a child performer.
That's right. Yeah,
you
go
know?
on. So it's very interesting that they were. I mean, so they've been involved in these industries for so long.
They've
bro.
seen all the ins and outs. They understand it better than anybody
Jesus,
else.
go on.
Yeah. Cool, dog. Ah, such a giving little performer.
Chill parao. First time.
See, a cappella, dude.
Fucking know, such girth in that voice.
I love maturity. That's really nice. My question is, how does it not get lost? So neat here again.
Dude, baby Sunihi is something else, dog.
See how lifted she is in her chest? That is so clean. There's nothing harder than going from a really clean high note to transition to a lower range for a child, because the transition is hard, but maintaining the note once you've landed is even harder because you're running out of breath. You're also a little bit tired. So there's, and the baby larynxes,
You know what
they
I was
don't
gonna say?
hold.
You say like real life, it would be like a Pokemon thing, like where you battle, and then you collect these singers.
Oh my god, where is
I would
this
put
going?
Baby Sunidhi up against anyone, bro. Up against any current top 40
She's your
charts in the US.
Pikachu.
I choose Baby Sunidhi. Go get him, girl. She
Go
would
get it,
beat
go.
anyone in the top 10 of the US charts, maybe except like the power vocalists that the singers that actually are pretty good live, like the Ariana Grandes and things like that. The Charlie Puths and all these motherfuckers. But all the other guys, I choose Baby Sunidhi, dude. I kid you not. In terms of like vocal quality, technique, understanding, and execution,
Insane.
because
Insane.
music isn't a competition.
She's better than a lot of adults now.
Music isn't a competition. Music is really interesting because it's an art form. So you have to judge it based upon its intended purpose,
Correct.
rather than in comparison to other singers' abilities.
Yes.
However, if this was a Pokemon battle, I'll choose Sunidhi Chauhan. She's just so versatile as well. Now, as a grown-up as well, she's probably one of the most versatile singers that have come out of India.
But now I understand why, though. She had it down, the technical aspect, being trained in classical Indian music, on hacks, literally unlocks.
Well, yeah.
The rest of the genres. And I've said it many times, but I think this is a very clear example of what you can do when you train kids with the most complex form of singing.
Well, it seems as well the best playback singers, or the most popular singers in India, all have at least a close relationship to either Hindustani or Carnatic classical in their background somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, even
it would make perfect sense, though. Think about it.
Yeah, it really it's like a hack, bro.
Yeah.
Anyways, go on.
It's insane. Cute. Also, the tempo, the time signature is crazy. Adita.
Narayan.
Ay, tan bello.
That's a showman.
Oh my goodness.
That kid loves his life.
He also reminds me of like that uncle that would sing in the karaoke. Like when
Like
the
17
party's
drinks, yeah.
yeah, when the party's about to end, he has those mannerisms. What an
Aditya
adorable
Narayan.
performer.
I think we've heard a few songs from him. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Oh, this is great.
We've seen this.
Yeah.
We've seen this clip.
Again, is the classical background that allows them to have such freedom in the stuff they do now.
I didn't know he played the harmonium.
You see how a lot of the air is coming down through the nose? Also, interesting modulation of like the transformation between the singing technique and how it has evolved. Obviously, a lot of years in the rostra, right? They changed the way you sing. Oh, but in this particular performance, I choked on air. Okay, ignore it.
Bitch, the fuck?
What I was trying to say is that in the modulation of the tongue and how exactly it's moving in this particular clip is quite prominent. It kind of props up in the middle of the muscle. So instead of creating this kind of like slide, it kind of props up a bit. So it allows for the airflow to actually be pushed further up towards the soft palate and comes down straight down through the nose. And it creates this highly nasal element of vocals, but it's not piercing. It doesn't have enough twang to be piercing. So it's not annoying. It's actually quite a cool texture. But it also allows you to maintain that airflow for a really long time.
Hence why he can.
Hence why you do it. You would try to find something that's very air economic. And in this particular singing phrase that is so long and so modulated, the tongue is such a pinnacle example of it. So if you pay attention to the way the middle of his tongue is being so propped up high. is kept there for as long as the singing phrase journey ends, and that maintains that really long, elongated breath flow. You don't see that being used often in modern singing now, but it's definitely an interesting technique to follow. Yeah. And you see that it's chosen. Oh, Neha!
How the hell do people find these videos?
I have no idea.
Apologies for the bad audio.
That is so cool.
How do they find it? I reckon.
I have no idea.
I reckon it's like, yeah, it's, you know, it's when as soon as these guys go like fucking insanely famous, people start finding videos that didn't even know they existed.
But people are saying here, like, Sunidhi was a born natural
Sunidhi was
talent.
born with natural talent of singing. Shreya trained immensely hard to reach where she is today. Sonu Nigam was singing like a legend even at 15.
That's what I think, yeah.
Oh my god, Sunidhi's pitch, her voice was so stable even at her high speed. I'm telling you, bro, baby Sunidhi ain't to be fucked with.
I'm just fascinated by Sunidhi. I'm telling you, she's probably one of the most impressive
kids.
child performers I've ever witnessed. The refinery, the control, even the way that she had been supporting the notes, because obviously for kids it's difficult to teach how to maintain the note flow and not lose the intensity and the pressure of the particular note, because as you get tired, the breath flow also decreases. Your body will naturally react to that thought process, and in her case, even her breath flow obviously is not ideal Western technique, but we're not talking about Western music here, obviously. But she held a lot of the breath in her chest cavity, maintaining the diaphragm really lifted, really close to the chest cavity too. So all of that allows for the larynx to be naturally quite lifted. My question is, how did she not break into tears? Because all of that air pressure creates a lot of tilt in the larynx, and it makes you feel very emotional. And these are just physical hacks, like you can say, but that kid had it. Like, listen, that was pretty
Sunidhi is
impressive.
very impressive. Baby Sunidhi was a monster, dude.
She was.
And now, well, obviously, she became one of the best and most versatile singers out of India.
Awesome.
Let us know what you guys thought about it, and perhaps what other videos should we check out next. There's plenty of videos that you guys keep sending us that are fantastic, but keep doing so, and we will check them out.
Okay, goodbye.